Hello everyone, welcome to the day 9 of Object-Oriented Programming Basic Concepts in C++. So today we will cover a very interesting topic which is friend class. Now, if you remember in our previous video, we discussed about the friend function. Now the function of this friend function and the friend class is same. Okay, that they help us to access the private and protected member of a class. Okay, so if we write that it helps us to access the private and protected members of a class, right? This was the definition of the friend function, also just a little difference that friend class is a class and friend function is a class. Sorry, the friend function is a function. So the implementation, or you can say the syntax, is fully different. Okay. So now we'll discuss the implementation of a friend class, and we will see how we can access the private or protected member from a class. And in this video, we will discuss only about the private, and this is the most important: the private, not protected. If you wish, you can try yourself with the protected members. You will see the same result. Okay. So this is the class A, and in the class A definition, we have declared the class B, and class B is the friend class B of A class, right? And as I said in our previous video, that a function has three major parts. They are a definition, declaration, definition, and call, right? Declaration, definition, and call. And I tried to describe the concept of friend class similarly. At first, we have declared the class, and then we have defined the class. At class, we have called the method of the class. We cannot say we have called the class, we have called the method of the friend class, right? At first, we will see the declaration, but in the declaration, I have only declared the class, and the syntax of declaring a friend class is just simply add the keyword friend and then the class B, and or you can write the name as you wish. And in the private part of the class A, I have an integer variable x. Now we will try to access the x with the help of the friend class, right? And then we are moving to the definition of friend class B. In the definition, in the private region, I have an integer variable y, which is in this uh, integer variable y is not used in this program, so you can simply ignore it or you can write it as you wish. And in the public region, I have a method, right? So if we want to access the private members of a class using the friend class, we have to use a method. Only class cannot solve this problem, right? So we have used a method which I have named display. You can name as you wish. So void display, void is the return type of display, and in the parameter I will pass simply the object, right? At first class, then a object of a class. Here we will not use any reference like we used in the friend class concept. This part is different. Okay, so in the display method, I have just printed the internal value of x. Then C means we have user input of the variable x, which will be stored in this x. Right? Here x is the private member of class A, and we are accessing the private member using the friend class, using the method of the friend class, right? And then we have simply printed a message: cout value of x is obj.x. You can modify this program, like you can use the display function return type as integer, and here you can use the return obj.x as you wish. I have simply used the void return type. And we have completed our declaration and definition part, right? So at last the calling part remains. So in the main function, at first we have to create an object of both classes, like the first classes and the friend class. And then we have called the method of the friend class using the object of the friend class b, right? So b dot display and simply pass the object. Okay, so here I've written the syntax also. New obj, new obj means b obj object of the friend class dot method name and dot old object. Old object means the first object or the object of the first class or base class, right? So this is a b b, and so new object is b here. And if you see the syntax, you will understand the concept. And at last we finish our program. And if you run the program, so enter the value of x, like 6, and it has printed the value of x is 6, and the 6 is the x, and x is the private member of class, which was the objective of the friend function, to access the private member of a class. So it helps us like a friend helps us, right? So it is named as friend function. So I think the friend function and the friend class concept are totally clear to you. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next video.